All right, guys. So I'm going to talk a little bit about targeting. And when I, in another lesson I did, I was just kind of showing you how to create an ad. And for some reason that day, nobody could, the targeting feature of Facebook was down. Which imagine how many people went nuts that day because all my students said, "Oh, we can't select targeting; it's just spinning." So that sucked. Of course, it had to happen right in the middle of my lesson, but I use slides instead. So in this lesson, I'm just going to kind of take just a few minutes to go and mess with the targeting and show you kind of how my brain works when I'm thinking of targeting and how I look at it and kind of figure it out from there. So let me break away and let me just go into I can actually just go into the audiences section if I want to make an audience. Or you know what, let me not do that because some of you guys probably would rather see it done from the beginning. So I go to the power editor and I'll hit quick draft and I'll say, targeting test. I'll name the campaign. Doesn't matter what your engagement is. Click the website, whatever. Um, test. I'm not even going to do an ad. I'm just going to do the targeting. So I'll call this null, whatever, and I'll delete this later so that it doesn't end up running. So I hit create. And I get rid of this always show new items thing because that is so annoying. It ends up showing stuff from other campaigns. And then I delete all my filters right here that are, again, annoying. And so there it is, targeting test. So I click on that and boom, now I only see that. So I'm going to go ahead and click the little pencil button. And I always start at $5 per day, even though that's not the point of this. I'll just put that there. Okay. So here I am, detail targeting. Now, of course, I would, split this into 4 or 8 demographics using my demographics here on age and gender. But I already showed you how to do that with the split test lesson. In this, I'm just going to show you how my brain works when I'm looking at targeting. So, for instance, let's say I am thinking of some sort of weight loss product. I'm thinking, I want to sell some sort of personal training product. Or let's say I'm a personal trainer. All right. And I go to, let's say Tampa. So I'm gonna type in Tampa. Let's say I'm a personal trainer in Tampa. Tampa, Florida. Okay. Plus, Tampa's big, so I'll just put can I do 5? No, it only lets you do 10. Or no. Okay, so Tampa. All right, I got rid of that. Tampa, Florida. So I'm just Tampa, Florida. All right. So I'm in Tampa, Florida. You can also do a radius, but I hit current city only. So I'm in Tampa. All right. And what do I got here? I got 550,000 people to work with so far, and that's without splitting in the demographics. So right off the bat, let me think of a competitor that is really popular with health and stuff. And I believe I'm not a health guy, but I believe Jillian Michaels right here, personal trainer. Oh, boom! It even says personal trainer. So I'm gonna click that. All right. So now I've taken that 550 down to 9,800, which is not a lot, especially since I'm going to, divide it up into demographics. So here's the great thing about this detailed targeting section. I've already selected Jillian Michaels. So if I click on this, it gives me a bunch of additional ideas. It almost does my targeting for me. It gives me a bunch of additional ideas that are similar to Jillian Michaels. So, for instance, Bob Harper. I don't know who the hell Bob Harper is. Have no idea. But obviously, he's a personal trainer, and obviously, he's popular. So, you know what? I'm going to friggin' select him. And Weight Watchers is a good idea, too. So, Bob Harper, Weight Watchers, that's good. Now, I'm not going to select, what did I see there? I saw The Biggest Loser. I'm not going to select that. Why? Because my brain tells me that's a show about losing weight. It's just a show. Like, you could have washboard abs and you could still watch that show just because you like to see whatever happens on that show because you find it entertaining. So I'm not going to select that because I just don't think that that's a good thing to select because it's not narrow enough. Now, Slim Fast, that's great because who the hell drinks Slim Fast that doesn't want to lose weight? Remember, we're trying to target people that want to lose weight. So I'm gonna hit Slim Fast. In fact, Slim Fast and Weight Watchers are probably better than the personal trainers, especially Jillian Michaels, because maybe, I don't know, does she have a show? I'd have to look into her a little bit. Maybe she has a popular show, and that's where you got to research. Actually, Jillian Michaels. Let me see here. Okay, so here she is. Let's see. Jillian Michaels reveals the simplest way to lose weight and the one exercise everyone should stop doing. Great headline. Yahoo. Let's see. Does she do anything that is like just basic? Okay, 30-day shred. So she sells tons. From what I can see, she sells tons of products on weight loss. So far so good. So let me click on her website. Let me make sure she's not doing anything like just for entertainment. No, weight loss. No, it seems so far from what I can see. Yep, the regimen. It seems like she's totally focused on helping people lose weight. So perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna keep her. And I can do the same thing for Bob Harper. Check him out. I just want to make sure it's not somebody like, like Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is too broad because people just like watching Dr. Oz. All right. So we got Bob Harper, we got Jillian Michaels, Slim Fast, Weight Watchers. I don't want Biggest Loser. I don't know what the hell Slimming World is, but it has 11 million people. So what is Slimming World? Slimming World. Okay. The UK's favorite way to lose weight. All right. Oh, it's now in the USA. I was about to discount that, but it says now in the USA. So find out. Okay, so it's okay. Same thing. So I'll hit that. But I wonder. So what are we at? We're at 21,000 people. Let me hit that. Okay, it only added 1,000, probably because they're mainly in the UK. Whatever. Okay, so like healthy diet. Healthy diet, I would not choose, or at least not in this particular ad set or this particular, because healthy diet here is just an algorithm. From what I understand of how the Facebook algorithm works, at least currently, and I've taught you guys this in another lesson, these are all fact-based, which means anybody who I'm targeting right now liked Bob Harper's page. They liked Jillian Michaels' page. They liked Slim Fast's page. They liked Slimming World's page. They liked Weight Watchers' page. Okay? And it says, people who have expressed an interest in or like pages related to Weight Watchers. And I know it says that, but from my experience, if it's somebody popular like this, most likely they have liked this actual page. Okay. So, and if you go to Facebook, you type in Jillian Michaels. Okay, there she is. So I'm gonna click on Jillian Michaels, and we have 3.1 million people that like it. Okay, so let me go back to my, and what does it say here? Jillian Michaels, 4.9. So what we're, the majority of this audience here is probably people that like this exact page. The reason you're seeing more than that is because they like, perhaps, for instance, if I type this in, Jillian Michaels, you're going to see Jillian Michaels, which has a verified badge. But then there are Jillian Michaels Body Revolution. And there's probably a ton of other pages that are owned by her or affiliated with her See, that one has 163,000 that are, very, very, very close to someone liking her specifically. So even though there's a little bit of algorithm in this, it's still pretty damn accurate. All right. And it used to actually be exactly the page, but now it's including a few other things, um, which I think is actually a good thing. But anyway, so the same thing happens with Bob Harper Slim Fast, but it's pretty darn accurate. It's pretty fact based. However, when you look at something like health and wellness is not a brand name. It's not an exact person or competitor. It's just health and wellness. So now they're going to, Facebook is going to be looking at just random pages that are close to health and wellness. So that could be anything. We don't know exactly what that is. Now, I'm not saying that targeting health and wellness won't work. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But when you target exact competitors, it works more. It works, more of the time. At least in my experience, I've had better results when I can immediately um, go for an exact person or brand. All right. So, these almost 5 million people definitely like Jillian Michaels or something to do with Jillian Michaels specifically. Whereas these 14 million people, God only knows what kind of health and wellness things they like, if that makes sense. So, Chris, I'm just going to go ahead and select this. And again, this is very algo. It's all really algo, but I like to call these fact based because they're zeroed in on a particular brand or person. See, like dieting would be completely algorithm based. 188 million people. That's not very specific. I would not want to use that. Again, don't want to use Biggest Loser. Again, I don't know. See, that's not even. I don't even know if that's a brand or just algo. But 46,000 people. I'm not even going to bother. Shape magazine. I might choose that, but I'm going to leave it out because I think we have enough people to work with right now. The reason I want to leave it out is because I don't like magazines are weird because sometimes people read magazines for the hell of it. But let me check out Shape magazine. What is Shape magazine? Olympians. These Olympians just earned a. I don't know. See, this isn't exactly. I mean, again, this could work, but it's not. It's just like random articles on. Like, it's not exactly trying to sell a weight loss product. So again, it could work, but it's not the first thing I would try. Okay. Now, let me also explain the difference between national and local. Because I'm trying a local personal training type of thing here, I'm including all of these things. Why? Because I need to, because I'm only in Tampa and I got to get this reach up to have enough people to work with. If this was national, so if I go ahead and I select if I get rid of that and I just do, like, let's just say United States, boom. Now it's 11 million people. Okay, 11 million people. That's way too broad in my opinion. So what I would do is I would just do one of these. Like I would just try Slim Fast, or I would just try Jillian Michaels, and then I'm able to get a little bit more precise with my ads. Like let's say I went after Slim Fast, I could say something like, um, uh, you know, many people try shakes and they just don't get the results that you would from this or that X or whatever. I can really, really go after the exact audience. Okay. Or if I was going after like Jillian Michaels, a famous, TV trainer, I could say something like watching, workout videos on TV is great, but nothing beats a personal trainer. So you see how I'm using the audience specifically, or I would look up Slimming World and whatever the hell they're about, and I would do that I would attack my audience specifically. But because I'm going with something so local, um, I can't do that because there just wouldn't be enough people. So current city only. So now I'm back down to 23,000 people. So I have to include as many of these big names as I can to try to get enough people to work with. Because if, let's say I just do men, now it's okay, now it's 2,400 people, which actually that tells me a lot right there. That tells me that the majority is obviously women, which with personal trainers and weight loss, I think that, at least from what I know, the majority of clients are women anyway. Male clients usually, I think, when it comes to personal training, are more sports oriented, like maybe like fighters or people that are in a specific sport. I think women definitely dominate the customer space for personal training. So that this kind of makes sense here. So for instance, I might run 4 ads, like, okay, so 18 to 65. So let me go with 21 to 30. And if I'm going national, I might go 21 to 25, 26 to 30. I can break it down more. But because I'm local, I can't get away with that. So let's go 21 to 30. All right, so 6,400 people that are female, 21 to 30, and then I can go 31 to 40, and I get 5,500 people. And this is enough. I mean, this is enough to work with. Look at this. Boom. Right in the middle. Okay. So this is definitely enough to work with, especially for local. I mean, if you're trying to sell a course and you want to make $100,000 a month selling a course or coaching, well, this is not going to be enough. But usually those are national products. Those are things that you can do remotely. So this is how I would attack something like a personal trainer. And yeah, it would be great if I could attack each one of these specifically, but again, we don't have the reach. So that's how I would attract something like a personal trainer. Now, like, let's say you were let me just get rid of this and go back to, we'll do 18 to 65 all, and I'll give you a couple more examples really quick. But let's say I wanted to do something like an accountant. Okay, so Turbo X. All right, right now we're at 2,700 people. Oh, I love it. I totally forgot about H&R Block. I totally forgot I don't know what TaxSlayer is, but I'm sure that's similar. Mint, I know what Mint is. Quicken, QuickBooks, boom. So Mint, Quicken, QuickBooks, FreshBooks, that'd be a good one. I don't want to choose accounting because that's definitely algorithm based. 48 million. I want to go after Zero. That's accounting. I don't want to hit accounting software. So let me see what else is there. Bookkeeping.com. That's no. Salesforce.com. Oop, almost did it. Okay. TaxSlayer. H&R. Did I get H&R Block? No, I didn't. Where's H&R Block? Come here, H&R. Where the hell are you? I saw you there. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just type it in. H and R. Remember, make sure you select interests, because you don't want to select employers, because to employers, all right, or H&R Block careers, because that's not what we're looking for. So H&R Block. What else do we got here? You can probably find more, Liberty Tax Service, that's one. Okay. All right. So let's just stick. So we get 10,000 people to work with. Not bad. But that's without splitting the demographics. Let me see what we got with male. Male's 3,400. So not the lion's share, but the majority is women, but not enough to where I would not go for each. So let me see here. I always like to split gender, because guys, please, and I don't mean to offend anybody or anything, but listen, men and women think differently. We all know this. It's not, it's fact. So I always at least like to split by gender, because again, men and women think differently. And if men are responding or women are responding better to an ad, a lot of that has to do with, their gender. Sorry, same thing with age. Some people, people are at different points in their life. They think about things differently. So I like to narrow it down by that and figure out what's working. So we'll go with 25 to 25 to 40. No, we'll do 55. No, we'll do 60. See, 47. Okay, so if I wanted to cut that in half, where would we be? Like 30, 1900. Little low, as we can see, we're in the red there, but you can maybe increase the age or get more interests that are similar and bump that up a little bit. That's pretty low. Or you could always do at the very least do your wide, do like 2 ages and the genders, but I think we could find more here. But that's essentially the direction I would be heading. Now, if it was national, okay, if it was national, it wouldn't be a problem at all. Or if it was like a big territory, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But because we're local, we got to kind of get that up. And again, let's say we just targeted TurboTax. We could say something like, there are a lot, even though there's some really easy to use online accounting softwares, people still mess up their taxes. Or we could do, did you know that, 84% of people pay too much in taxes? Do you know the number one reason? Online accounting softwares. You can actually save money by hiring a pro accountant, get this guy, whatever, so you could zero in. But if you're doing local, you got to fill this up. So it's the same thing. So like, let's do one more. Not dental. Okay, this is a good one. Dental. Now, let's say we're going after a dentist. All right, this one's a little bit weird because it's so hard to target certain things that don't have major competitors. Do you know a famous dentist? I don't. I can't think of one famous dentist. All right, so that probably is not going to work. But for instance, let me just get rid of these. We could look at some things. Get rid of the whole thing. We could look at some things like Invisalign. 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 Am I spelling it wrong? No, you guys know what Invisalign is. Invisalign. Probably spelling it all freaking wrong. Okay, so that's how you spell it. And we'll go back. I don't know why I'm only getting Italia, UK, and teen. I guess they're not that popular. All right, that's tough. So if you can't, and there, maybe there are some competitor-based stuff out there, but let's say for a moment that there just isn't. All right. This is a lot of times where optimization comes in. So we could say something like, okay, teeth whitening. Hold on, let me see here. Teeth. Let's see if there's a famous teeth whitening strips. All right. Bright white smile. Crest. Or teeth whitening. All right, Crest. You know what? Crest. Let's look at Crest. Crest. Okay, so let me type in Crest. Crest toothpaste. 4.9 million people. Oh, here we go. See, and it gives us ideas. Now, here's what I'm thinking. If somebody specifically likes the page Crest or something like that, they'll probably care about their teeth. Now, this could also backfire because if somebody cares about their teeth that much, they may, have their dentist on lockdown. They might know exactly who they want to go to, whatever. So it could sort of backfire. And that's why you could spend a small test budget on it, see if it works. If it doesn't, then you try something else. Okay. Like, for instance, you could try this, this interest teeth cleaning. All right. Now, here's the problem, though. And let me just kind of cut to the chase here. Say, like dental care. But again, like let's say hit dental care. It was at 1,100. It doesn't even change. It didn't even do nothing. So when you're local like this, sometimes even finding stuff like Oral-B and all this stuff, okay, 1,300, and that's without any. Oh no, I did the demographic things. Okay, so hold on, 18 to 65, all. So 5,800 people, which 5,800 people without any demographic splits, that's tough. All right. So even if we add more, Colgate, 11,000. Okay, that's not bad. 11,000. Listerine, 12,000. Dental floss. That's an algorithm, but we can mix it in. 22. Okay. So now we got 22,000, and now we can go say, and probably somebody that we'd want to send that's a serious like if we're doing a free dental cleaning offer, we probably at least want to hit 25. We don't want any young kids because they're not gonna, they might be tire kickers. And I know that's ageist, but we're trying to make money here. So 25 to 35. It's 9,700 people, men. Okay, so it's women. It's about half and half, almost half and half. So now we can split this into, say, like 25 to 35, 36 to 46, men, women. We can split this into 4 groups, test which one. We might find that 35 or 36 to 46 women is the lowest, that's the lowest cost converting. That's where we're getting the most results. Okay. And that's the one we keep and we scale, or maybe 2 of them do. Maybe the men 25 to 35 works, whatever. Now, that's one way to do this. But let's say, for instance, if you're in a smaller location and this just doesn't work. Okay. It just doesn't work there. We can pick all of these and you're just not getting enough potential reach. And I don't like to do this, but sometimes it works. You don't do any interest, like literally none. Okay. Instead, you just go simply by, let's say 25, let's say, like strictly demographic. So 25 to 30, female, 51,000 people. Now, you could run this and run that dental offer, and Facebook would optimize it. It would, over time, they would figure out who is opting in, and it would show it to better and better people, and the ad would work. The reason we use targeting is because we want to cut that time it takes that process to happen down significantly, so we don't spend a lot of money. So you could just like really nail it down, by only 5 years, gender. You could go by zip code. You could really nail it down and find the winning demographic. But if you can, you could even go in here and do something like income. All right. So like, let's say, and income is a very algorithm based, I don't, they're guessing. Facebook is guessing how much money people make. So it's not super accurate, but you can try it. So for instance, financial income. So what we could probably do is we could do like, we get all the rich people, okay, and get 30 to, that's probably fine, but nothing below 30 to 40,000. Or what you could do is you could hit exclude and exclude people that make financial income. So you could exclude people that make 30 to 40. Okay, so it doesn't have an under. They used to have an under. So you could exclude people that make that and include everybody else, or you could just not do that at all and just include. So you can include all your rich people and even your mildly, oh, and then we'll do 50 to 75. Okay, so 50 to 30 to 40, 50 to 75, and then all the rich people. Anybody in this category should be able to pay for dental care. Maybe they would have a little bit of trouble, but probably they would at least do whitenings and stuff like that. So now let's look at our potential reach, 8,200 people. So if I get rid of this whole thing here, it goes up to 51. So as you can see, it absolutely cut that by a large amount. To know whether or not it would be better to narrow down that much or to just go by strict demographics is something that you won't know unless you run, for your area, you run at least $40 to it. Okay. Here's the thing. If you run, say $40 to this method, you run $40 to this plain demographic method, that's $80. And let's say you run another $40 to the competitor method. That's $120. So you're trying 3 completely different approaches for around $120. You should be able to then determine out of those 3 approaches which one of them should work. Okay. I've never seen one of them not work unless your copy just sucks or something like that. But out of those 3 approaches, you should be able to find one of them that is working, and then on that one you work more on it, and you try to make it better. Maybe you want to improve your copy. Maybe you want to mess with your landing page conversion rate, whatever. But once you have that tweaked down to where it's working, and you just keep pumping it out, now here's a couple things that happen. One, your client's super happy, they're making a ton of money, and 2, you can now move on to a new client that is maybe another dentist, and now you have a great starting point. Doesn't mean what worked for that other client who's in a different city or something is exactly going to work for this guy, but I would recommend you start with what worked previously, stay as close to it as possible, and make that your starting point, and then make changes from there. So that's just a little brainstorm session when it comes to targeting. Again, honestly, it's much, much easier to target when you have the entire country or world to work with, because now you can just target, you can do demographics, you can split by demographics on one sole interest or competitor and really narrow down a winning audience. But when you're local, you got to kind of bundle. So I hope that makes sense, guys, and I hope this helps you with your targeting.